My name is Margaret Ann Windsor. Uh, the name given me when I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace, brought to Moulton, Alabama in 41 is Peggy Ann Dempsey, and I married a Childers. And the reason I'm saying this is I was given the name of a twin, another identity, mine stolen. And I was grew up thinking I was this twin, and in fact, both twins, Carl and Peggy, were dead. They were killed by their mother, Lana Dempsey, who was unwed, and it was a family that was in hellhole where they put me. Now then, I want to mention here that I wrote about mind control before I found out about being kidnapped in '83. I wrote a medical malpractice and deal license to kill. I was filled full of antifreeze on April the 1st of '80, illegally taken across the state line, and ended up with certainly brain damage, unbelievable, and working for the district attorney Fred Simpson in Huntsville, Madison County, DA. So I want to leave it at that because George Wallace was shot. It was programmed. The woman that killed her twins, Lana Dempsey, was with him in Laurel, Maryland. And let me say this, I don't think for 1 minute that George Wallace liked her. So I've continued to tell about mind control murders done in patterns. And the agency that's doing this to me is the ones that's doing the mind control murders. When I say doing this to me, in all the hell I've gone through, they may have helped save my life. I don't know. I do know this. It's the American people and citizens who did this to me and allowed it to happen and found fun in it. And today's Veterans Day, and they're celebrating supposedly vets that go out and protect their freedom. That's what CBS said this morning, and everybody says, and they dare you to disagree. I'm going to say this. No one has done anything but kill me. And last night, I sucked in fumes, and everybody around here knows this is killing me. I'm going to say this, and you can take it for whatever you want to. Evil masquerading as good. One wearing a mask, appearing to be who they're not, you see. And I'll leave it at that. You can apply it where you want to. Now then, I want to say this. Timothy McVeigh was a mind control subject. He even said himself that they put a chip up in the military. So I want to show this. And by the way, Project Lucid is another name for the New World Order. Now, before I show you the other few things I have, I want to mention that the Fort Hood shooter was a psychiatrist, and he finished school next door to me about 40 miles from here at Virginia Tech, where the 33 shootings took place. Now, they tried to say that person that did the shooting, April the 15th or 16th it was, of '07, was deranged. He was programmed just like a bunch of the others, the Tucson, Arizona, the Aurora, Colorado homes, and its mind control has nothing to do whatsoever with mental illness. And the sickness of it all is mental illness is being blamed on, and these people are being treated for a non-existent illness. They're being tortured to death. I wanted to mention this because I've continued to video, Facebook, carry it to the media who are not going to tell it because of my real name and what's been done to me, and that the Rockefellers and Rothschilds control the media. When the LAX shooter, Paul Anthony, CIA, NCIA, shooting took place, what did I say, November the 1st of this year, 13, there were statements made about the New World Order that he made, and he was called deranged also. Anybody that says something about the government's deranged, right? Or they should be prosecuted for saying anything about national security or anything like that, like Snowden. They made him out to be a villain. So I'm going to say this. The patterns, this is one of the pattern shootings. Paul Anthony is PAC is part of the pattern. Part of the pattern is the mere fact of a timeline in LAX airport. So you go on down to, they've actually told you here, CIA, you put in parentheses like the N, CIA. So he's got CIA, NCIA. And it's got the New World Order, which I've been telling about, and so have a lot of other people. There's nothing crazy about it, except the media is misleading you, and they are not misinformed. The Rockefellers, Elizabeth, whose illegal monarch stole it from me, has been filmed there on several occasions. She's part of it, and so is Charles. Now I want to get back to the other that's just happened. And, it's Richie Incognito, the Miami Dolphin, flies to LAX November the 9th, 13th. And this is about Jonathan Martin. And the definition of incognito, there's just one letter different in it, is one's identity disguised or concealed, or an assumed or false identity, or your true identity kept secret, okay? So, I'm going to leave it at that and show you just a couple of pictures and stuff. I've told everyone about the twins. I was given their name. Even the dates of birth were changed by the state of Alabama on the birth certificates, which are illegal. They gave me the name of Peggy Ann Dempsey. My real name is Victoria II, Margaret Ann Windsor. My father is King Edward VIII. He was legally wed to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, American, Catholic, Irish, commoner. A double was used to marry Wallace Simpson, American spy. She was illegitimate, just like the twins where they put me. Her parents were unwed. So there's been movies made of her by Madonna that were a lie. The Queen was a lie. The King's speech was a total lie. My uncle, George II, helped take down my father illegally, put a 99-year seal on my birth and my father. All of it was lies. He went along with Kennedy, Joseph Kennedy, who was ambassador to England till they kicked him out in 46. So there's the JFK assassination, which mind control was using that and the Martin Luther King. And I won't get into all that. But that's why they've covered it up, because JFK was continuing the torture of me and using me as a hostage, and so was Robert Kennedy, who was supposed to be putting, oh boy, they had the power, didn't they? So everybody hides it, the truth. The Warren Commission, by the way, when I worked for Fred Simpson in 80, the DA, after they had put antifreeze, and this just is one of the things that they did to me to take out my brain and everything, April the 1st of 80, Warren House, where I live, was like a clue to the Kennedys. who kidnapped me. And Simpson, that I worked for, the VA, was like Wallace Warfield Simpson was supposed to marry my father, which was a lie. So Elizabeth and her brood and her father are nothing but common cold-blooded killers. So when they say God save the Queen, I hope he saves the real one and he puts them where they belong, where they've had me, and that's in hell. And I mean every word of it. If they can do this to me, I can certainly wish for a little justice, which I've never seen. Nobody has been held accountable. Now then, I'm going to show pictures of that. And I'll go ahead and say that the Eric Rudolph, who's in prison, was one of the mind control murders. And actors have been knocked off, et cetera, et cetera. But the only ones I'm going to put now, I'm going to show you Elizabeth and all her glory and all this. But I want to show you one here that her father's a psychiatrist, and he was at Virginia Tech, excuse me. He taught there. He teaches here at Carilion or Dia. They're a very prominent family. They lived not too far from me when I walked all these years along Lee Highway or Highway 11 trying to get to the Appalachian Trail where I could set up my tent and the rangers were set to run me and lock me up and made you look like a fool while I starved and froze and lived in fear of my life all the time. Their daughter, Morgan Harrington, was a student at Tech. She was abducted at a Metallica concert in '09, and there's a lot of things happened in '09. State troopers' daughter and her friend, who are also students at Tech, were gunned down in Jefferson National Forest. Her father was a state trooper. His last name was Childs. It's spelled Childs. And I'll leave it at that. I'm just going to show you this. These people have known all along. They live a good life. The TV networks here have known the truth when I came here and before, the networks. And they weren't going to tell any of this because it leads back to my true identity. And here's this. And I wonder about people's, what they call evil. This mother and father have known the truth. They've not once reached out to me. And I don't really know, and I'll leave it at that. But I'm going to show the double. My Uncle George the Sixth, illegal, in Roosevelt. My father, Edward the Eighth. And I want to show you. Now, Hustler, because Larry Flint flew me out there during a campaign in '83, and he was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, March the 6th of '78 when I was doing the book in Marietta. I was living at Moonraker Apartments, and he endorsed me, and I just want to show that. And I want to show you a copy of the birth certificate where they just mark through the month and the year were different that they gave me from the real Peggy and Carl. And this is illegal for the birth for them to even do that, for it to be changed.